Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I couldn't do it last night. I was too tired. I had to leave, had to go rest. But man, oh man, it was exciting. And you saw the video, and thank you so much for all the shares, all the views. It really means a lot, not only to me, but to all of these guys over at Real Pro Stock. They are extremely special people. And the moral of the story this weekend is never, ever give up. I'll tell you, Ken Cartuccio, the prime example, but all of the people that helped Ken get back to the track, all of the people that helped this guy, John DeFlorian, get back to the track. It's been like 6 months that this guy's been battling his engine, and it hasn't been an easy fight, but it seems like he's back, and I'm so proud of this guy. I'm so proud of this team, and I'm really proud of all the Real Pro Stockers that continue to fight and never give up. I need some words with John DeFlorian, and you need to hear them. They're going to be transformational. They're going to be motivational. We want to hear them. I need them because it's been tough. I only had one coffee this morning, and I'm going to need some motivation today, I'll tell you. All right, everybody, my good friend John DeFlorian, here he is. Let's go talk to him. You are back. All right, there's a long road and there's so much to cover. We have a very short period of time. The juniors are coming to the lanes, so you've got about 10 minutes to let it happen. So, hey, listen, John, congratulations on your top qualifier here at the Carolina Nationals with the PDRA. That has to mean a lot, and we want the executive level, high level, what was going on with the car.
Oh my God, where do I start? Listen, this has been hell. I've been truly tested, I'll be honest with you. We've been through nearly 6 months of just misery. It started out in Florida when we went down to Florida to run that first race to start the season out, the World Series, and the car developed a problem. And we seriously could not find it. We've been fighting it the entire time, made multiple trips to the racetrack, not any of the big events, because we felt like, well, we can't go anywhere unless we can go down our local racetrack, and we couldn't. And it took us down a wild goose chase path. We just could not find it for nothing. We changed everything on the car except for the paint. I mean, that was it. And finally we decided that we got to do something different, and I called up Kazi's and said, hey, I need to put the motor and the dyno down here because there's something, I don't know what it is. And so long story short, as they put it on the dyno, they said they'd be happy to get it down here first thing Friday morning. I was there, and we threw it on the dyno, and it did it on the dyno. And I was like, thank God. Now we kind of narrowed it to an engine area possibly. And as with some more work on it, more dyno pulls, pinpointed the problem. And the whole entire time it was a doggone intake valve. And it never showed up in any leak down tests, any of our normal routine tests, because it would basically oil can the valve. So, but the funny part about it is we dynoed it on there, and it did it, and I was the only one in the dyno room cheering, because it's like, thank God we finally got it pinned down to the motor and we can figure out what it is. And thank God, and thank all the guys at Kazi's, because if they didn't do what they did, we'd still be at home, you know. And it's been brutal to sit at home and watch all the guys out here racing, and we're watching them, because we don't let any race go by. We watch it, even if we're not there, we're watching. And so that was tough to be at home. But you know what? Never give up, never quit, work your ass off, and that way it'll pay off. But you can't give up, and we weren't about to let an inanimate object beat us, so we just kept working. And thank God, it took a while, but thank God it came around. Well, here we are, and
John,
we're thrilled.
Yeah, John, you're the 4-second man. I mean, you strive for excellence in absolutely everything you do. You're building cars at Haas. You've got your vehicle. You're close to it. You're touching it. You're taking it apart. You're putting it back together. I mean, that had to be an incredible 6-month period. And to tell you the God's honest truth, I would call you, but it was infrequently, because I could sense there was a serious, serious problem there, and it was eating you up alive. And so, you know, how do you convert this to something positive? Because you're such a positive guy. When you're going through it like that, it's got to be absolute hell. And then how do you convert this into, hey, keeping the team together, keeping everybody motivated, keeping yourself motivated? How do you do it, man?
Well, you know what? You have to. First off, you can't give up and you can't quit. And we don't know that. So you got to keep positive. And I wasn't going to let an inanimate object beat me, you know. So that was the whole thing. It was there's something here. And you're right. All we do is work on the car. I mean, constantly work on the car. And that's why it made it so hard, because we're working on it. We're not finding it. We're not getting any results. You know, but the thing of it is that we knew the car's been fast. We knew the combination's fast. We just had to figure out what was keeping it from leaving the starting line, you know, really honestly, and we just kept working on it. And it was brutal. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you've ever been tested in your life as a racer or in anything in life, but most certainly as a racer, this was a test. If there was ever a time to quit and throw in the towel, this would have been it. And for us, it's just meant digging deeper. And the whole thing of it is that, you know, you're going to spend X amount of time on the top and X amount of time on the bottom. And when you're in the bottom, that's when you work the hardest, because you got to get back to the top or get towards that direction and get things corrected. So that's what we did. Everybody in the team, nobody ever hung their head. Everybody just dug in. It's like, come on, let's keep on digging. Let's keep on digging, and eventually we'll find it. And that's exactly what happened. So I thank all the guys that just kept working on things just like I did, and it paid off.
So John, take us into the car, man, because, you know, as I film these things, I get more in tune to the frequencies of the cars, the revs. Everything is now coming into focus. And as I'm focusing on you going down the track, man, it was looking like a great run from the start. And as you got closer and closer to the wall, man, I was really starting to get a little nervous. So give us a sense. Take us inside of the car. I mean, and oh, by the way, this is probably your first good hit in almost a year now. I mean, in that car, right? So you've been battling. You know, you showed up in March with those problems. I mean, it's been a long time since you've been in a car on a good hit. Describe that to us.
Well, you're right. It has. It has been an extremely long time that we haven't been on the racetrack. Believe it or not, that weighs on you, you know, because you don't get that routine. I mean, you're not in your comfort zone of, you know, making your gear changes and making sure the car's where it wants to be in the racetrack and all that. And you're right. I mean, that run there, I was like, okay, come on, man, because it was wanting to get over next to the wall, and I'm trying to bring it back, but I can't throw in the towel on the run. I knew the car was good. It just was kept taking me out of the groove where I didn't want to be, which is going to scrub off performance. But you know, that's part of that thing. You know, you can't give up, so you keep with it as long as it's not dangerous, and it wasn't. The track's great, so we're able to do that. But yeah, you got to get back into that routine again of driving the car, and everything becomes second nature again. And that's way it kind of started to feel that way after last night's run. It's like, okay, I feel like we're kind of maybe made the turn, and we're kind of back. You know, today will show that, but you know, we feel really good about it. And being able to run up and down this racetrack out here, you know, on a night run like that was a lot of fun, actually. You know, I mean, it really puts a challenge to you, you know, because you know that all these other guys are coming, because we hadn't run good, so we had to be out early. So I knew there was a lot of fast cars behind us that could clip us, and if they did, they did. You know, and we just had to do the best we could. I feel like we did that, and it held up. So you know, here we are.
And John, you're coming up. Tell us about your next races, where you're going to appear at. Because I know that you're going to be in front of a lot of people. I know that you have some sponsor contracts running out. You know, you got to get those things replaced with new people or get those contracts renewed. So where are you appearing next? Talk to us.
Okay, that's true. Our next race is actually next weekend in Charlotte, the NHRA race. We're going to get to run some quarter mile. That's our next outing. And that's what made this so nice, because we could make one trip down and hit a couple races. But you're right. We are here towards the end of the year. There's a lot of sponsorship stuff that's on the table. We're trying to work into some new sponsors, hopefully for the next upcoming year. And we needed this performance, and we needed this weekend, because we didn't have anything to show them, honestly. I mean, all year's been a disaster. So we had to show them that, hey, we still got it. We just got to figure it out. But you know, I think we've done that, so we have something to go to the table with, right? And work on these new sponsors for next year, and get some people on board, because, you know, let's be honest about it. This is an awesome sport, but it's expensive, you know. So you got to have support, financial support from these great sponsors to get, you know, help get you to those next races and through that next year and all that. So yeah, here we are. We're going to go to Charlotte next weekend, and we're going to run that race, and you know, then we got the race that we always have on our list, man. We got Virginia. You know, we want to. Maybe by the grace of God, we can go up there and get that 3 before somebody else does. But you know, there's a lot of cars that are really good, so they're all going to be, you know, aiming for that same spot. But we're going to go back there with that same effort, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun to get up there and do that. And you know, so we'll continue this whole process. And you know, listen, I got to thank all the people that's been on board. I mean, we've had some great sponsors over the years. You know, Amsoil's been on with us, Jeff Graver, Graver Concrete. You know, the guy comes out and works at the race. He works on the car. And how many people do that, you know? And here he is. He's helping out financially. He's helping out at the track. That's awesome. That's the kind of commitment I got to have out of these people. And it's been phenomenal, you know. And, you know, Kevin and Karen Bialco, without them, we wouldn't even be doing what we're doing today. So there's so many people to thank for this. And I am grateful that we got some great people behind us to, you know, keep us rolling, keep us going.
John DeFlorian leading the battle cry of never give up here with the Mountain Motor Maniacs, the Carolina Nationals. PDRA, stay tuned, everybody. There's more to come.
Never give up.